you have the December mutual fund data that has come in. Very quickly, if you see in terms of the active equity funds, they've seen an inflow which is higher on a month-on-month basis. The net AUM has taken a slight bit of a dip. And if you see in terms of the net outflows, that has increased as well. To give us further details with regards to how are the flows, what is leading to the flows and what is leading to the outflows this month, joining us is our expert on mutual funds. We have Alex Matthew. Alex, clearly, what are the numbers so far indicating?
Very kind of you calling me an expert. I just look at the numbers more often than you do. But let's talk about what's leading to these numbers. Overall, as Hiral has pointed out, there is an outflow of 80,354 crore rupees in the month gone by, that is in the month of December, and that is led by an outflow from fixed income. And what you will normally see is at the end of a quarter, there is a significant outflow from the shorter term debt funds, and that's exactly what we've seen in the month gone by as well. Outflows of as much as 66,000 crore rupees or thereabouts from the liquid fund category and 22,000 crore rupees in the overnight category, as well as an outflow of 25,800 crore rupees from the money market fund. So you will see an outflow at the end of the quarter and inflow at the start of the quarter. What you should pay attention to though is the flows into the equity mutual fund category, and here we're specifically talking about actively managed equity mutual funds. Again, here has pointed out there is an increase on a month-on-month basis to 41,155 crore rupees, and this is not too far from the record inflows into equity mutual funds, so they stay strong. Let's look at some of the key categories here. Sectoral and thematic, they became the largest subcategory of the equity mutual fund space sometime last year. That continues to be the case, and a large amount of inflows coming through into this category once again in the month of December. The inflows stood at 15,331 crore rupees. It's an interesting point to make though, because it's not the existing schemes that are leading to this inflow. There are a sizable number of schemes that were launched in the month of December. There were 12 sectoral and thematic new fund offers, and they've seen an inflow of 11,337 crore rupees. So a bulk of the inflows that have come through in the sectoral and thematic space have come through in the form of NFOs. Now, the other categories have all seen inflows. Multi-cap funds, as well as large cap, large and mid cap, small cap have all seen sizable inflows. In fact, mid and small cap funds, take a look at those inflows. 5,000 plus crore rupees coming through in the mid cap category, as well as about 4,667 crore rupees into the small cap category. Seemingly, what we saw in the month of November, where people have tried to buy the dip and have deployed in the form of lump sums, that may well have taken place in the month gone by as well in December. We will wait for a short while to get the data on the SIPs, and we'll bring you that as we get it. But Manish Mehta of Kotak AMC is joining us right now. Manish, I'm sure that you've seen the initial snapshot. Are you enthused by the inflows into the equity mutual fund space?
No, of course, because hi, good afternoon to you and to the viewers. So, yeah, definitely in the sense when we looked at the trend as far as the December month is concerned, and if you just sort of compare it to all the previous months, I think the investor behavior is showing a very consistent pattern that, whenever there is volatility in the market, they seem to be like, taking that additional lump sum step besides the regular SIPs that continue to come through. And, keep adding investments into different kind of schemes through the mutual fund route.
I'm curious about what you have to say about the SIP behavior, because our conversations with distributors, our conversations with mutual funds as well, is that while that gross number continues to remain at or very close to a record, it was down by about 2 crore or 3 crore or thereabouts in the previous month from that record, but the net inflows, which accounts for cancellation and stoppages, has come down quite a bit over the last few months. What does that tell you, Manish?
No, so see, there would definitely be certain segments of investors, who, in spite of having started an SIP, may probably get a bit jittery or nervous because of looking at the volatility and, may initiate a cancellation or a stoppage of an SIP. The other aspect obviously is that many a times we notice that the SIP sort of matures as far as clients are concerned, and maybe it's sort of they're not aware about the fact that the maturity has come through, and they probably need to maybe renew it. But our conversations, at least with a lot of mutual fund distributors, and if you generally see the trend, I think one thing is for sure that people do look at SIPs as the most efficient tool available today to take exposures into the markets. And even if you look at historically or during all kinds of periods of time, obviously it does help iron out volatility. And I think the results over a medium to long term that investors have, sort of experienced through the SIP route, I think that belief continues to remain strong.
Help me understand also from your conversations with the larger investors. I'm talking about not just the retail category where you're seeing a very small amount of money, or in terms of the ticket size. I'm talking about the larger investors that deploy large sums. What are the family offices doing? What are the large investors doing? Are they keeping money on the sidelines? Are they deploying? What are your channel checks showing?
No, so our conversations with a lot of such kind of large clients also stems from the fact that, their outlook as far as the economy or the market is concerned continues to remain strong. And, and it's not that they have got zero exposure or negligible exposure to equity markets. They do continue to have exposure to equity markets. And I think they, there is dry powder available for them. And as and when, there are opportune days where, there is volatility or extreme volatility in the market, those are the days when typically they tend to make that lump sum purchase. So in case, even if I was to look at that 41,000 number and assume that this SIP number continues to be 25 or 26, that also shows, reflects the fact that there has been, a good amount of lump sum purchase or buying that has happened within different category of equity products.
More questions, Manish. I'm seeing an outflow from other ETFs, which I would think also includes your some equity ETFs as well. You have index funds, which have seen once again an inflow of about 4,786 crore rupees, but an outflow from other ETFs, which stands at 4,558 crore rupees. Help me understand that part.
So I think as far as the ETF is concerned, obviously there are many more other participants in that, like the EPFOs or the large pension funds also who have been allocating money through the ETF route. Maybe there could be some level of some amount of outflow happening on that front. But as far as the retail HNI segment is concerned, I think if you look at the index number, because that is where you have seen a good amount of purchase not only into existing index funds but also spate of launch of multiple index funds. A lot of the savvier investors probably are doing a mix of actively managed funds and some allocation through like maybe an index fund product or the smart beta products to take exposure into equity markets.
Last point that I want to make and get your opinion on is, like I was saying, a sizable number of NFOs leading to deployment of funds in the month gone by. We're talking about 12 sectoral and thematic schemes that were launched. The industry as a whole can't keep launching schemes, and so that route will eventually dry up in terms of deployment. Do you think that that will lead to a reduction of flows in 2025?
No, I don't think so, because the fact is that at the end of the day, if you look at the different kind of products that our manufacturers are launching, one obviously is for many where they're trying to fill up the product baskets, maybe in a category of fund that they may not have in their suite. A lot of other products are currently, which the larger fund houses are looking to launch either in the index space or in smart beta space, because as the market evolves and more and awareness of investing through mutual funds continue to keep increasing across different segments of investors, I think there is an appetite for different kind of products that as a mutual fund we could look to offer to the investors, and depending upon their risk reward ability or their outlook on how they want to approach their investment strategy.
Got it.
I think the product suite is makes a lot of sense.
Got it, Manish. Okay, thanks for that perspective. Just to wrap things up, an outflow from the industry as a whole on account of fixed income mutual fund schemes, but a sizable inflow through equity mutual fund schemes, I would say driven by new fund offers. Whether that continues is the question.
Absolutely. I think.
And the other thing we should watch, Hiral, is the SIP number. And that will come through in about 20 minutes or so.
So the SIP number is going to be crucial to watch out for. Thank you, Alex. And I think the AMCs are not really taking this well, because you have the likes of Aditya Birla Sun Life, HDFC AMC, Nippon Life, UTI Asset Management. All of them have been trading under pressure as we speak. Cuts of almost 0.6% to almost 2.5%. If we can have the stock charts of the names that I mentioned on the screens right now, there you go. At the day's low with regards to HDFC AMC, UTI Asset Management taking a beating as well. 2.5% is the kind of cuts that we're seeing. There you go, 3% right now. And Nippon Life, Aditya Birla Sun Life cuts in today's day of trade. And this is post the mutual fund data that has come in for the month of December. You will be waiting for the SIP numbers that will come in shortly.